Okay, so I didn't think I'd have to make two videos on very closely related topics in the same day, but I had to talk about this Norman Reedus thing. So this happened yesterday, and it's short and sweet, but it sets the internet ablaze, as it probably should. He posted a very small little video clip of something that probably is going to hurt your eyes if you're not prepared for it. So if you do watch it, make sure to shield your eyes. But it is the bunny, literally, from Silent Hill 3. Now, I've really seen nobody try to contest this, try and say, well, maybe it was. No, I mean, this was literally the bunny from the game. So I don't know let me just say this. I don't know what they think they're playing. Okay, earlier today, we just had a video up talking about how they're doing it to themselves. And this is Abandoned. This is Blue Box Game Studios. Now, Norman Reedus jumping on the bandwagon. This makes it, I think, a lot more interesting, but we can still connect dots. We can get the red map out, or the red, lines if we wanted to, the thread. But, well, look, so you have Abandoned. You have, I think, again, I'm gonna continue to say it. It's not actually, well, obviously the game's not called that. They said that. I do think the game is connected to Hideo Kojima. Now, the issue is Norman Reedus teasing Silent Hill, like, very directly? Well, it's either you can either say yes or no, and it either will be yes or no. You know what I mean? The Silent Hill game will either get announced, come out, and he would be in it, or it wouldn't come out, so that's literally it. So, is it fun to discuss these things? Yeah. At the same time, and I like to say, I know it sounds maybe silly or stupid to say it, but ultimately it does boil down to just yes or no. Like, we eventually will get these answers, it's just we don't have them right now. I mean, okay, he was in PT. Okay, he was gonna be in a Silent Hill game, so you have to consider that as well. You're making direct reference to, I don't know, do you want to call it a character in Silent Hill, in the Silent Hill game? So, I mean, again, this is removed from Abandon, where it's like they deserve all of the stuff that they are going to get because they've done it to themselves. I mean, Norman Reedus is kind of almost the same thing. Like, you don't do something like this. No, and I saw people say, like, well, it was a nice looking island in the background of Hassan's picture. It's like, well, I don't care if it's got gold growing out of it. You don't post something like that when you know all of these connections. If you truly are separated, you don't post something like that because you're just going to fuel the flames of the rumors. I mean, there's literally no other way, especially, I don't know. I mean, come on, what's the odds of it translating to Kojima? But, again, that's separated. So, well, again, these lines can only connect so many ways, but either Norman Reedus is teasing this because of Bloober Team, because again, we seemingly know Bloober Team is going to be working on a Silent Hill game, but there's been loads of rumors over the past really year or so, but I would say even over the last 6 or so months, that there is very possibly 2 games happening. And again, it's kind of gone on and off and on and off, but it pretty much is Konami is listening to pitches for anything, and you can pitch for the same property basically as somebody else. So is Norman Reedus teasing for a Bloober Team thing, or for Abandoned? And again, let's connect the lines. Remember, one of the most interesting things that happened with Abandoned is early on they talked about how they were working with you guys will have to maybe find the exact quote for me, but it was roughly like a top tier actor was going to be voicing that was another thing early on, where it's like, okay, small team but seemingly big game. Small team, but you literally get a app on PlayStation. Small team, but you have 7 teams, outsourcing teams helping you. Seems a little fishy. Small team, and yet you're literally gloating that you're working with and again, these 7 outsourcing teams, they help the biggest PlayStation studios. So you're almost gloating that you have big teams helping you, even though you are nothing. And I say that in a more funny way. It's like, actually, they're not nothing, but they're pretending to be. And so if they want to pretend to be, maybe we should, if we want to make fun of them for that. But you're a small team and you're gonna recruit. Okay, and does Norman Reedus even count? I mean, he's a big name. I don't necessarily think he's the best voice actor or best actor in the world. I don't really think that's unfair to say whatsoever. However, Death Stranding, he was going to be in Silent Hill. He's done this stuff before. I'm sure he's going to continue to do it in the future. Now, he's talked before, too, about continuing to work with Hideo Kojima. There were interviews back when the stuff around the world was kicking off, middle of last year, and he had interviews where he said, Walking Dead, and he still has to do some stuff with Hideo. Now, that I feel turned into Death Stranding's director's cut. That's what I would assume he meant. But does it mean that he couldn't do anything further than that, no. So it's all just very interesting. I mean, him doing it, again, really does nobody, I guess, working on these things any favors, because it only helps, again, fuel the flames. This only makes it so, okay, well, I would say, I mean, again, I'm almost at the point where it's like you just got to go with your gut, or at least I'm just going to go with my gut, and I'm going to say, like, you don't do something like that. You don't, and, well, I guess somebody, I don't know who it was, like, if you pause it, and I did notice this, if you pause his video on Instagram at the right moment, it almost does look like, I believe, what like the forest in the abandoned trailer. And that maybe is a reach, and you could easily say that, but you do notice it. Like, look in the background of the video playing, and it goes through a couple different things, and one of them definitely looks more like greenish, like a forest, or like trees are in the background. Something, just something to kind of check out if you're interested in it. But again, it just doesn't do any favors. It's like, why would you have a character? Maybe it's literally just a poorly. Maybe they bought an Easter Bunny outfit at the dollar store, and that's what they came up with. But in reality, I don't think that's what it is. I mean, sure, it could be that. Sure, it could be something just stupid and different. Maybe it's for riding with Reedus, or maybe he's gonna take the bunny on the motorcycle and go across country. I mean, maybe that happens, but let's be fair. Most likely, it won't happen. So I'm left to assume, that's all we can do is assume. I'm left to assume that it's got something to do with either Bloober Team or Abandoned. And I will honestly connect it more to Abandoned, just because if Abandoned is connected to Hideo Kojima, which I do believe it is, immediately I have to assume maybe that Norman Reedus could be attached. So that's one thing going that way. Secondly, if they are making a Silent Hill game as well, that would attach Norman Reedus to that one. If you want to read into the forest in the background, which would, connect to Abandoned, there's that. It's just all very... And I guess the final thing is Bloober Team is not doing what Blue Box Game Studios is, in like just having, I don't know if they're having fun with it, but they're just going crazy with allowing these things to kind of happen and allowing people's kind of theories to come out. So Norman doing this, okay, lines itself up more with Blue Box than it does Bloober Team, who's stayed very quiet on it, besides knowing that they have literally a creative partnership with Konami. Remember, where Konami is basically going to give them tips and tricks of how to make games. It's really a match made in heaven for both of them, but this is very interesting. Again, I didn't expect to do this as the video. I almost didn't want to, because I don't like assigning two videos to almost the same thing in a day, but here we are, and I'm just going to embrace it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Was this a clear tease at Silent Hill? Was this something else? Let me know. If you haven't already, make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turn on. I try to cover this stuff when it happens. I've covered it for the last couple months as well. So again, subscribe, bell icon, give the video a like. All my social media stuff is in the description below if you guys want to check it out. My Twitter, my second channel. We have a Patreon and YouTube memberships. The join button for YouTube memberships is next to the subscribe button. The rest is in the description below. Thank you for watching, guys, and I hope to see you all on the next video.